Well, I'm just putting this video together and realized I hadn't done an introduction, so here's your introduction. Just covering some odds and ends in this one, and we were jumping around in the next three videos because I'd get started on something, I had quit because I needed some help or needed a part or whatever, and which sometimes seems like a theme in these videos, or this project anyways. So we're just going to cover some odds and ends in this one, and enjoy it. It's not going to be a long one, but there's some interesting bits in there. So I thought I'd talk about some of the changes I've made in the trailer. These are the old baggage doors, new baggage doors. Just single aluminum, and as you can see, they don't seal that well. The hinges on the side. On these ones, first of all, there's two latches, so it seals better. Hinges on the top, so there's less chance of water leak. And it's also, as you can see, it's a line door, and it's, they call it an insulated door. It doesn't give you a lot of insulation. I guess it gives you some, but also makes the door a lot more rigid. So that's why I went with that line door. And also this is fiberglass, so it's a lot tougher, and I like that because it's just around an area that gets a lot of use and more chance for damage. So that's another thing with the line doors, it's less likely to get dented. Also, excuse me, apparently I have a frog. The aluminum, this aluminum is thicker than the old aluminum, so it just makes it less prone to denting, less prone to warping. It's just going to look a lot nicer on the trailer. Yeah, this trailer's going to look awesome when I'm done. I've been polishing windows, and when I cleaned up the windows before, I knew I discovered later I'd missed this one, but I forgot how much work is put into each window. So first of all, you have to scrape all the dirt off it, take the air hose to it, then lube up all these things, get that working, then start scraping the putty, then get a brush out and some water and some soap and give it a wash. And then you're where I started with these ones this morning, which was polishing. And it's all done by hand and rags and polish, and there's nooks and there's crannies, and there's 60-year-old windows. It's a lot of work. We have windows in. At least the ones that I can put in, because the rest, well, there's one bathroom window, I guess, required the roof to be on because things like that, because the roof comes down to the top of the window. I've been polishing windows. I polished them before I installed them. This one obviously is installed. But the window I'm holding up has not been polished. It's been washed, but not polished. And you can see the difference on the side, shine on the exterior. The exterior is a little more worn and not coming up as nice as I'd like. And you can tell by the rags that I'm doing lots of polishing. But the interior, I mean, look at this shine. Look at that. I haven't got this all one done, but across the top here, and then all of a sudden you can see where it's not polished. Look at that. Not polished, polished. Pretty nice. And I was gonna buy or use a power polisher, and that was pretty much pointless because there's so many nicks and crannies and small pieces and corners and all that kind of stuff. You got to do it by hand. So I got a lot of time into polishing these windows, but they're looking nice. Okay, hopefully it's the last time I'm going to show you this because I'm just so happy. I just don't want you to get bored with it, but I am excited. This is kind of the before. I haven't polished this side yet. It's been washed. And look at that shine. That is pretty nice. I am just thrilled how that's coming out. If you're restoring your own trailer, it's your personal choice how far you want to go. Because in restoration, you can just get to the point of ridiculous. But if you're buying a restored trailer, Here's, you need to look closely, because to polish this window and get some caulking around this glass, I could have just left it intact and just put some silicone around here and been done with it. But this will make it easier for me to polish so I can do a more thorough job, and maybe I can get that gasket in there a lot better, but took that window completely apart. There is the crate with the roof in it, and I'm pretty much ready to put the roof on. But winter's returned, and I want to lift that up with the forks on my front end loader, and the forks are buried deep in some snow, which trying to get my little tractor to is going to be a challenge, so I got to dig them out and get them accessible. So maybe today if it warms up a bit. If not, I'll keep finding things to do. And one of those things I'm going to do is I'm going to paint up the hitch here, and I should have done that before I put the metal on, hence the cardboard up front here. It would have been just a lot easier and would have had to do less covering up so I don't muck up my brand new aluminum. So where the propane rack was welded on, and the brackets for the weight distributing hitch, they were welded on too. So I've ground this all smooth, and then next I'm going to take the wire wheel to it and clean it up all quite nicely so that paint goes on there better and smoother and sticks better.
And chances are that paint has got lead in it and all the rust and crap that goes in the air. So give yourself some protection. And not only that, I'm turning the exhaust fan on in the shop too. Okay, here we go.
Hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll get on to the next one here shortly. But when I was reviewing the introduction, I saw this pile of paper showing in the background. Yeah, that's some filing I got to do. I keep track of all the components I'm putting in this trailer, so I know exactly what it's costing me for parts. And those are some of the receipts I got to enter yet on my spreadsheet for all my costs. So if you're doing a project like this, it's not a bad idea to do, because all of a sudden you're going to scratch your head and how would this thing cost me? It'll surprise you. It's a lot.